Hello and welcome back to Cattenvîr. It is the 22nd of Hematite in the early summer of year 128, and Cattenvîr is shakily recovering from a terrible clash with the forces of the complex lie. Many of our newest military recruits lost their lives, but lessons have been learned, and in this episode we are going to be trying to fortify the defences, and I specifically will be trying to implement some of the suggestions that people have left in the comments. But before we get to that, I just want to draw attention to a mod that is maintained by Dion, in fact created and maintained by Dion, and that is the Genesis mod, which is currently going through a bit of a revival. In fact, it is currently the Genesis Reborn. And to avoid any confusion with the old Genesis mod, which is still around for nostalgia's sake, Dion has gone ahead and created a brand new thread for the Genesis Reborn. So for those of you who are keeping up with Dwarf Fortress mods but may be a little confused, may have missed the fact that Genesis is now being actively worked on once again and has gone through a bit of a facelift and a reimagining, I will drop a link in the video description below for you to go check that out. It has been drastically improved and is well worth a revisit for those who perhaps checked out the Genesis mod previously, and definitely worth checking out for those of you who haven't seen anything of the Genesis mod. But with that said and done, let's get back to Cattenvîr. Okay, now off screen, I've made a few changes, I've designated a few things, and I've renamed one person. We'll start with the joyous, happy news, and that is that we have a new dwarven baby. And based on the name, I hope you can guess who its parents are. But just in case you can't, or in case you just want to see the relation screen, there we are. Dapper Jester, Thales, well done. You have a delightful dwarven baby. I'm sure they are extremely beautiful and very intelligent and far above their age expectations, whatever. You know what parents are like. It's like, oh yes, he was doing this when he was only like 3 seconds old. Oh, such a clever baby. They're never really that clever, but we all nod our heads in agreement anyway, especially with Dapper Jester, because he could probably snap your neck as soon as he look at you. Or at least he can if he's in any way related to Muck Jester. Now then, the tedious stuff that I've done, for the third time I might add, given the crashes, is I've gone ahead and this is something that someone pointed out that I should have done a little while ago, and I kind of resisted because I was hoping that I could just get it all done in one go, but it doesn't look like we can. Now, I've prioritized certain things to be hauled in. Everything on this level is set to be hauled in still. It's all claimed and it should be hauled in as fast as possible. But everything on this level and up, I've gone through and I've forbade it. And then I went back through selecting every single individual corpse, looking through their items and claiming anything of importance, which generally was any type of weapon, any type of bolt, well, any type of metal bolt and any type of metal armor. That has all been set up to be brought back in. Hopefully this means we'll get the important stuff in quickly. And then once everything has been hauled in from out here, I'll start reclaiming things up there. I'm not too worried about the goblin corpses. I don't think we can really do much with them anyway. As for the drawbridge, someone has kindly pointed out that I have set this up wrong. Currently the drawbridge is apparently set up for retraction. That means that if you imagine like, I don't know, some generic fantasy-esque or sci-fi bridge that just retracts backwards, that's what this is set to do. It'll retract into the floor. That doesn't do us any good because there's actually ground underneath the drawbridge. Because of this, these are mined underneath. These aren't open to the sky. These are like tunnels underneath. So there's flat ground that once this retracts in, they can just walk straight across and straight into the fort. It doesn't form any sort of barrier. What we want to do is for the drawbridge to raise, because then it forms a wall. Now the other problem with the way I've positioned the drawbridge is this is where the wall will happen. Now, I'm not sure if this is still the case. It used to be that constructed walls would block pathing in diagonals near it. So this corner from here to here would be blocked normally. That isn't the case with mined walls. If you're just mining a tunnel, you can move diagonally, but it used to be that if you constructed a wall specifically, it would block diagonal movement. Let's not take the chance, I suppose. So we're going to be reconstructing this bridge in this shape with the back of the bridge in line with this wall, and for the bridge to be set to raise. That will create a solid barrier for any goblins from getting into the fort or from shooting into the fort. That is a large concern. Everything else should be arranged as and when. I've also made this little stockpile just to help up with a few things. Oh, what just happened there? James Cox has apparently grown attached to that copper pick. Well, I'm not surprised in the slightest, given how very, very good for him that copper pick has been so far. However, these keys are starting to irritate me. Let's see. Is there a... Wow, is there a key really nearby here? Is it above us at all? No? What's that? What are you? Tell me. That's a damselfly. Okay. Right, well, if a Kia gets too close to the front of my fort, I am going to designate it to be killed by the brilliance of glaze. Just so that our workers can actually get stuff done. Needs prickleberry seeds. Oh, that's fine. Now, another thing I've done is if we go to the manager, I've set them up to make a bunch of charcoal. We are going to need some charcoal to make steel. Someone kindly pointed out that dolomite is a flux stone. And if we go into stones, indeed it is. If we click on it, it shows that it can be used to make steel bars. Now, I've let dolomite and marble be used. But I'm going to turn off marble, I guess. Dolomite, I'll still allow them to construct things out of it because I don't think I've got enough other types of stones at the moment. But we will be using dolomite for its flux capabilities in making steel bars. Now, the way you make steel is if we hop over to the smelter. Here, we can go in and... Where are we? No, I'm now on the wood furnace. Never mind. Add new task, and we should be able to go to steel. Now it shows here the reagents. We need iron bars, pig iron bars, flux stones, and refined coal. So dolomite will satisfy that requirement there. And making steel is going to be extremely useful for us. Even if all we do is make steel weapons and have them in iron armor, that steel is going to be much more damaging to opponents. It can hold a better edge, for example. Steel bolts are especially dangerous. But steel armor would be the best thing that we could do if we can. Oh, we've got some migrants. Fantastic. Exactly what we need. I hope there are a lot of you. I'll give you a few moments to get into the fort, and then I will have a look around. Lalasser has become a clerk. Tyler has become a mace dwarf. Well done. You guys can chill out. Oh, actually, someone did point out that I should probably move my barracks to the front of the fort. Because right now, it takes my military a very long time to actually get to where the fighting is. And that's a damn good point to make. So, let's have a look at this. I want to find the one that isn't defining the barracks. So, let's use Q. We've got... actually, we can use this one. Yeah, we'll use that. We'll remove that building. I think that... Yeah, this is the one that's defining the building zone. And that's the one that's defining that building zone. So, we're also going to remove this one. So we're going to have one armor stand and one weapon rack. What I intend to do is just place an armor stand and a weapon rack out here, and then have it create a large square training ground. And I'll just have our guys working on that training ground. Damn it, you bloody Kia, where are you? Show yourself. Are you there? No, you are not there. There you are. You've got... what looks like an arrow. Ah, you little swine. You're trying to make off with my arrows. How cunning. He's trying to rob us of the ammunition that we might use to attack him. I can only hope the brilliance of glaze already have some arrows. Bolts, rather. That does bring me on to another point, though. I'll quickly cover this as well, because I did this off screen. I noticed that Parafowl was outside of the fort, outside the walls, just wandering around. Parafowl is now old enough to wander around on their own. So that put a bit of a fright into me, honestly, because the amount of goblins walking around trying to kidnap children is staggering. And Parafowl wouldn't even have their parents there to try and defend them and scare off the goblins. So I've gone ahead and I've added all of the children to the bunker. So hopefully they are now going to be restricted just to this zone on its own. And actually, on that point, I'm going to redefine part of this, just so they can move around a little bit more freely. And also, I want to make this dormitory available to them, so let's just do that. There we go. Now, I'm not sure 100% how this is going to be working, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on the alert screen, because the way this works is that a dwarf will be restricted to the bunker. If they've got a job outside, they'll go to try and do it and then realize they can't leave, and that's what you want, really, when you're restricting their movements. But with children, especially the smaller children, which are carried around on the parents' backs, I don't know how that's going to affect the parent. Will the parent just walk off because basically the child is attached to the parent, so the child might be trying to remain in the bunker, but can't really make up its own mind, so the parent will go off and do its own work? Or will the parent leave the child in the bunker, content that it's behind many, many, many other dwarves who will fight for its survival and defend it from goblins and go off and do their chores before coming back and spending time with their child? Or, this is the part I'm worried about, they'll go to leave the bunker with the child on their back, the child will fall off their back because it will be prevented from leaving, the parent will be like, oh, wait, I'm forgetting something. Go back indoors, pick up its child, go to leave again, drop its child, think, oh, I'm forgetting something, and back and forth for eternity until they starve to death. That is not something I want to happen. So I will be trying to keep an eye on this for people who get interrupted for other reasons than the Kia, which hopefully will soon be killed. Probably not, though. It's probably going to just annoy me for the rest of eternity. Let's see, are you up there? Are you up there flapping around, laughing at me, like the devilish little swine that you are? Yes, he's probably laughing at me. Let me see, did you steal a steel bolt, of all things? Is that what you have in your hand? I wouldn't be surprised. I think he's the one, though, that the Prince of Glaze is currently sent to kill, so I can only hope that... Ooh, I pressed the question mark. I can only hope that they deal with that quickly. Now, that is set for removal, so as soon as a mason comes along, hopefully they can get that sorted for me. Now then, I'm sure you're all wondering who the hell got into the fort, or rather how many people we got in the fort, so let's go and check that out, whilst everyone keeps swapping their jobs. Okay then, let's just read these dwarves and see how many we got. We got 10 new migrants, fantastic. The important part of this, however, is the military. What sort of military candidates have we got? Actually, not too bad. Not too bad at all. These are the main things that I worry about. Because if they don't have these, specifically armor user and shield user, then it gets very, very difficult. In fact, this may well be one of the best migrant waves we've had. I mean, they've all got issues with being a student. I'm not too keen on that. In fact, that's kind of weird that they've all got issues being a student. I believe my dwarf therapist may have had a slight hiccup due to the crash. We have crashed a few times now, and it always seems to be after a migrant wave and after I rename everyone, which is why I'm a little bit frustrated with things. I'm just going to close down Dwarf Therapist. Here we go. That looks a little bit more like it well, random. It's not that it didn't make sense before, it's just it seemed very unlikely that I had that much luck or things with that uniform. But here we are. This is our military screen now. And indeed, if in the future you see something that looks a bit too good to be true in Dwarf Therapist, try shutting it down and restarting it. Though I also took the liberty of saving where I'd got to in the recording on Dwarf Fortress, closing the whole program down and reopening it again. So I'm not really sure which of those two did fix this problem. But here we are, problem fixed. And the last 10 minutes worth of recording is now saved for posterity. Should another crash happen, I can just start from there. Now then, we do seem to have quite a lot of luck in the weapon skills. This is what I really want at the moment. I want more people to flesh out our military. And the two main skills that I can't do without are shield user and armor user. I don't want people in the military who have poor potential in these skills. So it looks like these three at the bottom are probably not going to end up in the military. You might not either, based on toughness and recuperation, but maybe. You do seem to have decent potential as shield user and armor user, and everyone more or less has good weapon skills. So I think we're going to end up with 7 new recruits, which is desperately needed. None of you, however, have got any decent marksman skill, unfortunately. Wow, quite a lot of people have decent marksman skill, it looks. That last wave had a load of people who had it. But no one in this wave, unfortunately. So no more Hunt Dwarves, no more new people for the Brilliance of Glaze. But it looks like we're going to be padding out the Everlasting Stockades and reforming the, I forget the name, honestly, the Silvery Roughnesses. So I'm going to pause the recording here. I'm going to get to renaming, and when you come back, you will find out who was lucky enough to get into the fort. Oh, excitement. And welcome back. As you can see, we have a spread of military and laborers. Unfortunately, those who weren't good for the military weren't really good for that much else either, except for someone who is quite good at being a medicus. But unfortunately, we don't really need another medicus. We've already got far, far too many. So we have Freya, Zaweri, Rasmus, Zeno, Dedeus, Tokimi, and Weenog in the military. Only Freya is in the Everlasting Stockades. The rest are in the Silvery Roughnesses. And we've got Kraken Shark, Curry Muncher, and Night Stalker as labourers. And honestly, we desperately need your labouring ways. We are really, really in need of people doing hauling right now. So much so, I think we actually need to have a look at a few other things. Now, most people are set to haul, at least to haul some things. But I think it's probably time that we also had the druids join in. We've got a lot of druids, and well, I guess they are all actually busy. I don't know. The main reason I don't want to take them away from planting fields is planting fields is a time-important task. We don't... Ideally, the moment that they can plant a certain type of crop, they should be on that task right away. And the moment it's ready to be harvested, they should be harvesting it so that they can squeeze in another harvest of the same crop by replanting. So, actually, no, we're not going to mess with that at the moment. We've got plenty of laborers now, so hopefully they should help with a lot of things. Our military, I could have them hauling, but given how the high mortality rate in the military right now, I haven't got the heart to have them do other things as well. And besides, quite a lot of our military actually do things like self-train in their time off. So I don't want to take them away from that. So we're going to leave them like that for now. But that does flesh out our military quite significantly, honestly. And this is unfortunately the part where the crashing has happened previously. So fingers crossed it goes a little better this time. I'm just going to flip over to the fort once again. And there we go. Now, I have taken the liberty of saving the fort since renaming everyone. I renamed everyone first. I went through, saved the fort, reopened it again. Hopefully, we're not going to experience a crash. But if we do, we won't have lost as much progress as last time. Now then, everything is going okay so far. Good, good. This is the part where it crashes. Now, usually it crashes when I try to go and equip people. So I'm just gonna have everyone put into the squads they need to be put into, and then I'll deal with the equipping a bit later. So, first and foremost, Freya, welcome to the Everlasting Stockades. Unfortunately, this does possibly mean you are in the most risk, because my plan, having reviewed the atrocious rate of deaths from the last fight, is the Silvery Roughnesses are going to be our reserve squad. They're not going to march out to war unless I absolutely need them to. So it's the Everlasting Stockades that are going to be doing the majority of the goblin fighting in the near future. So you are actually in the more dangerous squad. But there are untold amounts of honor and spoils of war and such things available for you. So I hope you don't worry too much. Or if you do, know that you're going to leave a fantastic legacy and your parents and siblings will be proud of you. Now then, everyone else is going to be in the Silvery Roughnesses. And there wasn't any particular way that I was going to do this, except I can't see. Ah, there we are. Zoeri. Phew. I thought I had not named someone then. But no, we've got Zoeri. Oh, Zaweri. Rasmus. Zeno should be next. Dedeus. Where are you, Dedeus? And next was Tokimi. And finally should be Weenog. Well done, you. Now, again, I'm not going to mess around with the equipment just yet. You guys can, for the time being, study... I don't know, really. You can learn to punch each other. You can get your wrestling and dodging up and things like that. I will re-equip you in a bit later. Ooh, what on earth is that? That's a pink bar of some type. Rose gold bars. I wonder if that's particularly valuable. I hope so. Now then, as soon as these things have been broken, I'm going to be setting up a new location for the Everlasting Stockades, and also we will be setting up an outdoors archery range. Now, I'm hoping that will help us fend off the Kiers, who are swooping down over the top of the fort, because our Huntsdwarves will be close at hand, and they might just take some pot shots. Now, the weather is cleared, apparently. Need longland grass seeds. Well, we don't really have those at the moment, I'm afraid. So, you'll have to just make do. Now, as we can see, there are plants that need to be gathered. And I'm not too happy about that. Okay, what just happened there? Why are you blinking? What is wrong with you? Oh, you're waiting for combat training. Okay. There's 2 people in the hospital. Let me just double check on you guys. Are you just sleeping? Is that all? Have you just basically grabbed a bed? Parafoul. I'm going to have a word with your parents. But the fact that the armor stand has been moved is a very good thing. Now let's see if we can build that. No, it hasn't been moved to the stockpile yet, it looks like. So I need to wait for that to actually get stored somewhere, and then I can move it. But it looks like these guys are actually doing some training, which is great, and our farms have been harvested, it would seem. Perhaps these are just laying on the ground. I'm not really sure. Oh, wait. Something just went on. Someone suspended something. Why? Why was... damn it all! Why? Okay, well, I need to have a look at this then. Alright, which one got suspended? This one. Those bloody keys. As soon as we get the Brilliance of Glaze outside, it's going to be so much easier for us. I will be a happy, happy Fortress Administrator. Now, we've got our rock coffins complete. Thank goodness. Let's get those built. As sad as it is to do so, we'll build some granite coffins. There we go. Make it so, please. Anything else going on? Other than the Kiers constantly interrupting us and trying to steal our stuff? Oh, we've got a buck rabbit. That's cool. Ah, yes. There's one other thing I would like to do. We have a lot of mature dogs now. I think it is time that we actually had them trained. These are the 2 dogs that we started with. I'm going to let them remain there, chained on kind of guard duty, but in close proximity, so they're going to continue having pups. Now, what I would like are some war dogs. So get to the training, please, whoever. I don't really mind. When these puppies mature, I think I'll have a couple of hunting dogs. But have we still... Oh, we've actually got a Kia. We've got a tame hamster too. A tame hunting Kia? I wouldn't mind. Dapper Jester? Yeah, can you tame this Kia for me, please? I would very much like that. And then we will train it to be a hunting Kia. And then one of our hunt stores can have a Kia as a companion. The irony of a Kia killing thieving Kias. Right, okay. This has been not finished yet. It's almost done, but not quite. But the rest of the traps are being constructed, and I'm very, very pleased about this. Let's check out the manager. Mechanism are almost done. Wooden bins, they're starting on. Wooden cages, and charcoal is being started on. Fantastic. Well then, I think at this point, let's see if I can check whether I can make the steel yet. It might still be saying that I need the pig iron bars. It's saying I need fuel. What about pig iron bars? Will it allow me to do that? Requires fuel. Refined coal. This might not work with charcoal. I actually might need bituminous coal for that. I'm not sure. I'll have a look on the wiki about that one. But whilst we're here, hey, we've got a stray war dog. Thank the maker. Okay. And we've got some more puppies. Let's get them in one of the pastures first and foremost. We're going to stick a puppy in here. Right. Any puppies not currently pastured, you can also go to one. Let's refresh all the text. You're not apparently pastured, and you should be. Guinea hen and a gosling. Interesting. What about you? Oh, actually, you were a pet gosling, weren't you? Ah, yes. So don't store these guys. These shouldn't be stored. They are pets. Hang on. Wait. Am I seriously trying to store a goblin thief? I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't be trying to store those. I think everything else is okay. Can't believe I was trying to pasture my goblin thieves. Damn it. I'm going to need to build some sort of place to have a gladiatorial match for the entertainment of my dwarves so they can see revenge being taken. Of course, the odds will be heavily stacked in our favour. Naturally. As in, we'll be armed and they will not. But that's just what happens when you are a goblin thief and get caught in a cage. You can't argue with that. You were coming here to steal our kids. Nothing is too good for you. Rather, everything is too good for you. Ah, you know what I mean. Right, let's get this bridge made. I will be glad when it is done. There we go. That's about the right size. And we want this to raise. W, A, D, X, and S will change the direction. So, for example, it retracts with S, or X raises this way. That's what I wanted. Rather than S, I needed to press X. But there we go. That should work. Now, we want blocks, and we've got plenty of granite blocks. So get that done, please. In fact, we've got so many granite blocks that I feel confident telling them to stop using dolomite. Okay. Over time, we may take away some of those walls. Now, we've got all of these war dogs, and we need to give them to our military. Let's see. Who is going to be the first person to get a war dog? I think it should be... Let's see. Who is the lead of the Everlasting Stockade? It's Cattenvîr, of course. Cattenvîr, you shall have a war dog. Just as soon as I find you in this list. Actually, I can probably find you a bit easier if I find Tex... Oh no, Texamy's been stolen. Oh, what a horrible way to remind myself about that. Okay, Cattenvîr. Here we are. Cattenvîr, my fine young man. Actually, I'm going to need to zoom to you. And let's find Cattenvîr in this list. Here we are. Now, if I recall, I think it was labour, or was it miscellaneous? No, it wasn't miscellaneous. Labour? No. No. Combat, perhaps? Oh, this is just showing me your abilities. Okay. Well then, how exactly do I give you a pet? Preference, perhaps? Ah, there we are. Work animal. You're currently assigned to the Everlasting Stockade. Well done. I could give you a new squad or name the squad differently, but I don't want to do that. But what we want to do is give you a work animal. And I would like you to have this stray war dog. There you are. One war beast has been assigned. And once we have everyone in the Everlasting Stockades with a war dog, I will give you 2. Possibly I will give you another war rhinoceros. I'm not sure. If I manage to get one, I shall give it to you. So the next person. So let's check out the Everlasting Stockades. It will be Tyler and Para and then Lalassa. Just in order that they're in the squad. Tyler, here we are. I would like you to have a war dog. You can have that one. And I've forgotten who's next. Para. Because, you know, they'll get annoyed if I don't give it to them in the right order. You know it's true. They'll start feeling all jealous. It's like, I was here before Lalassa. How come they get a war dog and I'm still here without a war dog? My lord. There'd be a revolt on my hands. Okay. Here we are. Oh, wait. No, have you got a war dog? Yes, you do. Oh, no. Right. I'm assigning the war animal. There we are. No, you've actually got 2 war beasts now. How? Para, have you somehow tricked me? Confess. And I may show leniency. Yeah, you've got 2 war beasts. You greedy bugger. Oh, well. I suppose it's not going to be a bad thing, considering you are probably going to be getting into combat quite a lot in the near future. Right, let's make this... No, we don't want to make a tomb. Sorry, we want to make it available for burial. There we are, and there we are. And after a few moments, it should already be assigned. So this is the resting place of Scally, and this is the resting place of Penguin Master. I imagine there still are more people to be buried, though. So let's start mining out this part of the wall. And in fact, just do it all in one go. And then we'll replace it with dolomite blocks to match the sort of bone white texture of the other parts. Now then, this is slowly being built, which is good. And the cage traps have been, they haven't all been set yet. The dark green means that I don't think it means that there's a cage in the trap yet. The trap is ready though. Ooh, we are lacking of logs, really? That is most unfortunate. Let's get some tree felling going on. We'll start with the trees that are just within the camp. Then we'll move outside. Are there any trees? There aren't actually many trees. Well, we'll do the ones just outside the... Ooh, wait. What just happened? Oh, phew. I'm very paranoid about when it grabs my attention like that at the moment. We'll chop down some trees just outside the door, if there are any. There aren't actually very many at all. This might take a little while. But okay, we'll need to do this. Alright, get out there. Bring some stuff in. Oop. No. More. Wow! 2 girls. What day is this? It's midsummer. We just passed spring. Though I can't imagine that that's got anything to do with it. Considering I imagine the gestation period for a dwarf is a little bit longer than 1 month. Oh no! Possession is the worst type, because you don't get a skill gain, even if they do manage to get everything they want. You're going to start doing something? Okay. You're grabbing expensive stuff as well. At least you've actually started the construction. That's a change from the norm. A welcome change, I will add. Right, I think we're going to try... I'm just going to check, because I'm fairly sure that pig iron bars, what does this require? It requires iron bars and refined coal. We are going to need iron, because I'm fairly certain we do not have any. Let's just check out stocks. And we'll check out bars, which I believe is down here. Oh, no, actually we do have quite a lot of iron bars. Really? Are they in things? Are you lying to me, game? No, they apparently are not. Okay, well, it does look like we need refined coal then, or at least it seems that way. I can melt a metal object. Where's magnetite? Native aluminium. What would I require to, say, do bismuth bronze? No? Not going to tell me? No. Make coke from bismuth coal. Requires fuel. I'm not sure. I will have to have a look at that on the wiki. See exactly what I'm going to need to be able to make some steel. Why are you out here? Are you just moping around for some reason? No? Oh, actually, I believe 2 war beasts assigned has got nothing to do with who's got a war beast. It's just that there are 2 war beasts assigned. Okay. Well, that's actually not too bad then. You're let off the hook, Para. And with Para no doubt breathing a sigh of relief, we'll wrap the episode up there, before a goblin thief comes along and steals one of our children, or stabs it in the face with a large silver dagger, or we get ambushed, and everyone dies. Because that's pretty much what I'm afraid of right now. But this episode has actually been a welcome change from the last couple. We've actually got stuff done, we've got more people in the fort, had some migrants that is, and no one's died. And that is actually a seriously refreshing change from the last episode or two. I'm a little bit scared about what the goblins may be planning. They're being awfully quiet. But if they do leave us long enough to finish that drawbridge, then I think they may have lost their opportunity to jump us, because we will probably be in a much better position to deal with them at that point. That's my hope, fingers crossed. But that's all for this episode, and despite the numerous crashes that have happened whilst trying to record it, I've actually enjoyed it quite a lot, so I hope you've enjoyed it as well, and I hope you'll join me for the next. But until then, do take care.